Hello everybody, I'm Curtis Coons, and welcome to episode 22 of Two Old Guys Talking About Stuff Nobody Cares About. We're coming from Valley TV Production Studio here in Green Valley at the Valley Speedway, right, Victor?
We're a hidden gem here. No one knows where we are.
We are truly.
It's a hidden studio.
Yeah. And you can catch us on, remind me, Real TV Now. Real TV Now on Facebook or Real TV Now on YouTube. Either one. I put these here. I'm moving them now. I put those here just simply so people would know it's a different show than what it was before, because we just did episode 21. This is 22, and I'm wearing the same damn shirt. And I notice a lot of times when you look at the episode to click on, oh, I've already seen that one because we're in the same damn shirt. Well, no, this is the same damn shirt, but this is the shirt that had coffee cups up in front. So, anyway, Victor, what's our subject today? We had just finished talking, well, we had begun talking about conspiracy theories and then ventured on to tornadoes.
We could talk about people that were supposed to come back and that didn't show up.
Yeah, Andy Kaufman, I guess, and that would be more of an 80s thing, right?
Well, I mean, and I'm not making fun of these people, but you kind of have to, like, mention the people that were waiting for people to show up.
Oh, down in Dallas.
And down in Dallas that didn't show up.
JFK Jr.
Yeah. Didn't show up.
Yeah. Now, and they're saying now that he had got the wrong address.
Well, was he known to be late?
No, he was always pretty prompt, I thought.
I don't know. And I'm not making fun of him, but...
No, but JFK Jr. was killed in a plane crash that he piloted.
Yep.
Back in, like, I want to say...
God, it's been like 10, 15 years ago.
It's been 20-some years ago.
Yeah,
99.
it's crazy.
And he died with his wife and his wife's sister. And there are a contingent of people that believe that he's coming back.
I don't think it's going to happen.
You don't think so?
I don't think it's going to happen. I just don't. I don't think it's going to happen. You know, unless Thanos comes back.
Right, but it kind of bleeds into conspiracy theory. A lot of people believe that JFK was still alive.
I'm going to do a hard pass on that one. Because,
I'm talking about the dad that died in 63.
Right. I'm going to pass on that one. Yeah,
but a lot of people believed it. It was all fake. It's all fake.
No.
Now, there were a lot of things about that were kind of fake. I think Lee Harvey Oswald has been proven was kind of a patsy. He was kind of a setup.
Right. Yep.
And you know the first thing that assassins do to the patsy assassin, right? They kill him.
They get rid of him.
On the news.
Live.
What a picture that was. Front page of the paper. Look. Who am I doing? I'd go to him for Halloween. I'll cry like that. Have a guy look like Jack Ruby. Shot him. Boy, I hope everybody... See, now we're getting to our age group, because our age group understands what we're talking about. And not that we were even alive then. I was a baby when all that happened.
I was not born yet.
Right.
But I do know enough to know about it.
Kennedy was president. They had a parade in a convertible. Not a good idea. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, I got an interesting story.
Yeah. But anyway, and he was killed. He was killed back of the car. Remember the video? What was that? Zapruder film?
Zapruder film, yeah.
Zapruder film.
Yep.
You know, it went back and to the front. Back to the front. They were, but...
yeah, I have an interesting story. Speaking of which.
Go ahead.
So, back in the... Oh, gosh. I want to say... You know, I can't remember what year it was. I wish I could remember. But I was in Washington, D.C. doing freelance video work. And I stayed at the hotel where Reagan got shot.
Okay.
Right
set out on the steps.
Right, he was walking into a side door, or he was coming out of the side door after speaking at a speaking event. And this is years later after it happened, because that happened when I was in high school. I think I was a junior, you were a senior. Yeah, you were a senior. Yeah. And I was there doing freelance work, filming for seminars for this company, oddly, company out of Dallas.
Oh, wow.
They were from Dallas that I was working for. And there was a guy that worked there that was there when it happened. And he told me the story. He was one of the media guys, the AV guys that worked there. And I was on a break, and I was kind of like walking around behind the scenes of the tunnels and stuff that they move stuff in and out. And I was saying like, wow, this is kind of crazy history here that what happened. And he's like, oh yeah. So since then they had constructed a big garage to that door. So when dignitaries drive in, they shut the doors and then they walk in. Right. And he said that he was there. He didn't talk to the guy, but he had come in to that side door and said, is the president done speaking yet? And they said, he's getting ready to wrap up.
He'll come out. You could probably hit him right about, no sense of security back then. And all was there? Was there?
I couldn't tell you, but he showed me, like, the guy come in and asked if the president was done talking, and they said, oh, he's getting ready to wrap up now. So he went back outside. And I guess he just looked like a normal dude that just hanging around, Yeah. And they said he walked out, and this guy said, oh, yeah, so-and-so doesn't work anymore, but he was standing in the door with the window watching, he couldn't really see anything because people were blocking the window, but he was trying to look out to see the president Reagan leave. And all of a sudden you hear the pop, 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 and he said he just dove to the ground, and he was scared. He said, I think he peed his pants, but it was a very scary. That was my brief moment in history that I got to retrace kind of the area and steps and stuff.
I think Reagan was actually waving like that. I think didn't he get shot like an arm?
Yeah.
And at the time, they actually didn't know he was shot. He didn't know he was shot, and then they saw blood or something. They're like, maybe we ought to get him to the hospital. They actually didn't know he was shot. Now, James Brady was shot in the head.
Yeah.
James Brady was shot in the head. But
do you remember that day in school when that happened?
Oh yeah,
You came in late.
Well, yeah, I had to run into town. I had my driver's license, and I wasn't old enough to vote in that election. But he was elected in November of '80, so he would have taken office in '81. He was just in office. I had to go into town and get a book I'd left at town. Came back, and on the news it said the president's been shot. And I came back to school in the hallway, and the president's been shot. Remember that? And everybody come out. I got yelled at, and I said, "No, seriously, turn on the news."
You came into You came into Miss Dunford's class.
Yeah.
And I was in that class.
Everybody,
and you told everybody, and everything just completely just stopped.
Yeah. I yelled it out in the hallway too. I said, "Hey!" I yelled it to Mr. Yawning and all those people. I said, "Hey, the president's been shot." I said, "Turn on the news. Turn on the news." But yeah,
I remember that. I remember you coming in.
It was less than 15 minutes after it happened. I was yelling about it and everything.
It was
a very odd deal, and it wasn't. Sometime I think it was within that year earlier on that John Lennon had been shot.
Yeah, December.
Yeah, John Lennon had been shot. That guy. What was the name of the shooter? John Lennon.
Mark David Chapman.
Now, was he the one that was weird about the book, The Catcher in the Rye, or was that the one that shot Reagan?
I think that was Reagan's guy.
Okay. And the Reagan one was the one that was obsessed with Jodie Foster?
Yeah.
Or was that the John Lennon one?
No, that was the Reagan guy who was obsessed with Jodie Foster.
Because it was kind of, there was two weirdo guys back then. And, really, looking at today, they were just ahead of their time. All these fucking weirdos out there now. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, you know I see the difference between they were ahead of their time, but the news is so instantaneous.
Right.
That we get these instantaneous weirdos that are plucked online.
Look at all these shooters now. They're just nuts.
Yeah, and you can see back then there was probably a lot of crazies that we didn't know about.
Yeah.
Like in California, they had the Hillside Strangler guy. They had the what was the guy with the cryptid messages he would send? Zodiac Killer. Yeah. We didn't hear about that here.
No.
We would catch glimpses on the news, on the national news that was going on.
There was some weirdo John Wayne Gacy and all those.
Oh yeah, there was
that guy. But Jeff Fellers and I lived in Hawaii, and there was an old guy named Cecil Allman. He's got to be dead now because he was 90 some then. And he said, "Yeah, right, this building right next door to us." He said that's where the guy. He worked one day, got off work, flew to New York, shot John Lennon. So he lived. That guy lived in Hawaii. John Lennon was standing right next to Yoko Ono. Boom, got shot. If that guy would have aimed a little to the left, national hero. I got him today. I got Victor to laugh on this one. Big joke implying that had he shot Yoko Ono, who broke up the Beatles. Beautiful singing voice, by the way.
Well, let me tell you that I remember I was laying in bed
with Yoko Ono.
Now with Yoko Ono by myself, And my sister came in. Mona came in. She opened the door because it was on during Monday Night Football when they announced it, and they said John Lennon was shot in New York City, and she came and said, "Hey, John Lennon just got shot in New York," and they just announced it. I'm like, what? I mean, that hit me harder than when Elvis Presley's death was like,
yeah.
But John Lennon was, crazy,
Well,
crazy to me.
I think a lot of us saw Elvis thinking maybe
His time was coming. But I remember, and then waking up, or getting out of bed, and running to the living room because we had Monday Night Football on.
Yeah.
And Howard Cosell announced that John Lennon died in a New York hospital. Wow.
Yeah.
Big.
Tore up a lot of people.
Yeah.
Todd was real upset about it.
I was a huge Beatles fan growing up, and and he had just came out with Double Fantasy.
Double Fantasy.
Which was a huge album in our time.
Had he lived, do you think that he would have had more of a single career individual career than Paul McCartney?
Well, they finished a couple of his songs after he died.
Yeah. But do you think he would have been right up there with Paul McCartney? Do you think he'd have done more than Paul McCartney? Do you think he'd have done less?
He took all that time off to raise his son.
Yeah.
And
he had several kids. Julian was the one that...
Julian, he only had the two boys. Julian and...
But he had the one with Yoko Ono.
Yeah, with Sean.
Yeah.
And he was probably... He probably had another 4 or 5 albums in him. The guy was just a natural songwriting guy. So, that was just... The music that he had at the time... and he had a lot of... He had a lot of unfinished music.
Yeah.
Like Prince.
Yeah.
They said that there's a vault of Prince music that is so many songs that are unfinished or finished that never were mastered out.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with it.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Prince dying hit me hard too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was huge Prince fan.
There's been several deaths of celebrities about it. It seems like back in, I want to say 16 and 17, a bunch of them died. Just boom. Merle Haggard, you're probably not into Merle Haggard, but Tom Petty.
Oh,
died.
Yeah. Huge Tom Petty fan.
Who's the main guy? It was Glenn Fry.
Glenn Fry passed away, yep.
Just a ton of them. Just all of a sudden, everybody just started dying. It was just, Tom Petty that kind of really caught me off guard. And then trying to find out it was drug related. It's kind of...
Glenn Fry got me off on a tangent.
Yeah.
When he died.
And then David Bowie. How can we forget David Bowie, man?
David Bowie. He was a...
Hey, can you hear me okay, or should I set up?
Yeah, right there.
Right here, okay.
But his... David Bowie dying was kind of a secret. No one really knew he was sick.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a shock. Came out of nowhere. So, yeah, that was kind of a bummer. Prince hit me really hard.
Yeah. It was shocking. Michael Jackson died. Of course, he lived such a strange life. There was probably a lot of Deadpools out there. People go, okay, who had dying in an oxygen tent?
Right.
Who had dying under the knife getting a nose replacement?
Yeah.
Who had, they're probably betting on that kind of
I can't imagine.
Hell, he was young.
I can't imagine him going. He was, I did not see that one coming.
55. Yeah.
I think it's 55, something. But I didn't see that one coming at all.
He was a year older than me. I think he was 50. I think he died. I think it was 50.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming. And we talked about this before, not singer-wise, but Phil Hartman got me hard. I mean, that just knocked me over. I was so
Wife
sad.
shot him 3 times in his sleep. Then she left and came back and killed herself.
Yeah.
And they said he'd had problems. She was kind of
she different was doing a lot of drugs and stuff.
Yeah, she had problems with her. And she always wanted to be a
celebrity.
She wanted to be the main. She was upset that Phil did good, and she wanted to be the celebrity.
It's so funny because they point out in the opening
about her turning her head.
Her turning her head because she kept looking at the camera, and they kept telling her to turn her head, and her earring is still flopping.
Because they couldn't get a chance with her not staring directly at the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
she appeared in a movie.
Phil Hartman was so talented.
She made an appearance in a movie. I want to say it was with the guy who was married to Demi Moore.
Ashton Kutcher or Bruce Willis?
Bruce Willis movie where he kind of goes back in time and he's
Looper?
Where he's with himself as a young kid.
I think that was Looper.
I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, there's a scene where he's like laying on a massage table and the little boy that's him is laying on another massage table.
13 Monkeys.
Was that?
Might have been. I don't know.
But anyway, the massage girl in the middle was her.
Ha!
You know, she was trying to get movie parts. She was trying to get movie parts. That was her.
I had to look it up.
That was her. But that was one of my biggest ones that hit me. Now,
Chris Farley bought it.
I was about to say Chris Farley. Chris Farley was one of my big shockers too. I never saw that one coming.
And then John Belushi and John Candy. Of course, all these comedians were out of shape. They were big, bigger than me even. You know,
John Candy was really out of shape, and Chris Farley, you know, he was a lot of drug overdose on that one. So, which is sad. Sad.
But you know, larger comedians, a lot of them don't have a long shelf life. Remember, I think, didn't you interview Ralphie May? Weren't you?
He was actually on the Cowtown show.
Yeah, I thought so.
We didn't really interview him. We chatted, and
he died 3-4 years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
And he had that beautiful girlfriend, fiance. I think they actually ended up getting married.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
And then I think there's some sort of, like, all these comedians that were friends of Ralphie's are ganging up on her and vice versa. There's some little rift.
I don't know. What was her name? Her name was Lana
Turner.
Lana Turner. And she was really funny.
Yeah, she was hysterical.
Really funny. She played the guitar. And but you know what? It's so weird.
But she didn't die. She's still alive.
She's still alive. It's so weird because
God, my nose is itching like crazy.
Lately on my YouTube feed, you know, when I watch videos and stuff, a lot of his comedy is popping up again.
Yeah.
So there must be some resurgence of people watching his videos of nightclub stuff.
And some roasts. He did some roasts.
Yeah.
Really funny.
Like, talking about roast, I want to talk about
itching.
The king of the roast was Greg Giraldo.
Yeah.
Well,
died from drug overdose. But
now it's the king of the roast would be Jeffrey Ross.
Right.
He's hilarious.
Roast Master General.
Yes, he is so funny. But Greg Giraldo was amazing.
Yeah.
That guy was so funny. You know? And, you know, when you talk about people that know these people or have met them, you know, the first thing they said is, like, Greg Giraldo, like, he was the nicest guy.
Really? Now, see, I can't picture that. I thought he'd probably be a dick.
No, I think he was, and, you know, Ralphie May was pretty cruel to our Cowtown show.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty cruel to the decorations.
He had just got the big head because he had just won that last comedian standing or something.
He was on it. I don't know if he won it or not.
I think he did. I think he won it. I think that's what actually propelled him. And then all of a sudden, Stanford and Sons, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Already had him booked. Couldn't get out of it. He'd won that thing. He was on our show, your show, and then boom.
Do you remember one of our production assistants decided it was a good idea to put these white cow balloons on the sides of the stage, and it looked just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But they begged me to keep it. I said, "Oh, it looks awful. It looks terrible," but it was good imagery for the show. And he got up, Ralphie May got up, and he looked at the balloons. He said, "I've done Fox, ABC, NBC. Now I'm doing a kid's birthday party." It was just, you know.
Now, when you came up with that Cowtown Saturday Night, did you get that name from Cowtown Ballroom, which was remember Cowtown Ballroom was before Emperor Arena.
Yeah.
And it was kind of on
it was on
31st Street. Yeah.
And
it's still there. The building's still there. It's a church now. Of course, everything that's a big space that you can rent and have entertainment becomes a church because they don't have to pay taxes. Don't get me started. As a past tax assessor.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get me started. It just pisses me off to no end. But
yeah, and you know, I can tell you that when we did that show, we did it at Stanford's in Westport.
Right.
And man, we just got hammered by local reviews. Just hammered. And I came up with that title.
Did you base it on Cowtown?
No, because it was going to be Kansas City Comedy Tonight at first, but that was just way too long.
Plus, also, no one would think that anything in Kansas City was ever funny.
Right, and so, and I want to thank, I do want to thank, you know, at the time WB for taking it on because we got turned down by everybody else.
Remember Randy Rayley did such a great job.
Randy Rayley was on it. He was our host. He was our
second host.
Second host, because the first one was kind of a disaster.
Well, I won't speak ill of the dead, but
Go ahead.
He was a good friend, and he had some demons that he just couldn't get past.
Nope,
and
he
he
couldn't.
passed away a couple years ago. I don't think it surprised anyone
No.
that he passed away, but he was.
Yep. Well, we had Bobby Slayton on the show.
Yeah, he was a complete dick.
Oh, he was not a nice person. But you mentioned before he was his persona was
Being a dick.
Yeah.
And I don't think he could ever get out of that character. And I told you they had him on one episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm and killed him off during the same episode. So
How did they kill him off? I don't remember that.
I think he died of a heart attack. But his wife in it was the gal that played in 30 Rock, played the blonde.
Oh,
Janet
Karinsky?
Yeah, that was his wife, and supposedly day before day died, he told Larry David, those guys out, he says, my wife's got this magical, vagina. And so then the whole rest of the show, the other guys are pursuing that.
After he died.
Terrible premise.
Right, terrible premise.
Terrible premise.
No, I came up with the show title because I was trying to put Kansas City in the title, but I could not fit away. And then when I came up with that title, kind of off the top of my head, literally, and I'm not kidding you, it was literally off the top of my head. The person I was working with on the show said, "That's the title."
Really?
And that's how it came to be. And it was a good idea. It just there was too many loose elements on the thing. We should have had a DJ.
Yeah, probably.
We should have had a
probably.
DJ.
Back sidestepping that a little bit, Cowtown Ballroom. If you ever Google that and look up the acts that performed there before Kemper Arena opened up, that was it. That was the thing.
Yeah.
And before Kemper, and you go there now and there's giant pillars in the parts of the room. How you'd be stuck behind a giant pillar, not able to see the stage. And
to me, one of the greatest local venues besides that was before my time.
What's that?
Cowtown Ballroom was before my time. I remember my brothers and sisters, my brother Lewis and Maria and Barbara, talking about going there for shows.
Steve Martin opened up for Ozark Mountain Daredevils or something
like that. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, Steve Martin was the opening act.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you look at it, you can find the sheets of all the guests that were ever performed there online.
Well,
we'll go ahead before that.
And I want to say that the big, to me, the local venue to top that one would be the Uptown Theater.
Okay, yeah, it's still there.
We saw Boss Skaggs there. Remember
That's right. We had the crazy drunk girl with us that kept getting thrown out.
I started calling her Foster Brooks.
Foster Brooks.
I said, she didn't get it either. Like, why does he call me Foster? And you go, because Foster Brooks. Yeah, she just couldn't get it.
Sometimes I make mistakes, and it's really hard for me to admit that I make mistakes. But even knowing that person was a mistake. That was just a Titanic
Titanic mistake.
Yeah, like you can see the iceberg come. You're like, what's the harm? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the harm?
I'm going to Google
Cowtown Ballroom.
Cowtown Ballroom.
Now, also when we were younger, and these venues were owned by the city, Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah.
Remember? And then on the Kansas side is Memorial Hall, and Memorial Hall. There is some incredible history to Memorial Hall. I may or may not have talked to you about this, but and the anniversary was just last week of REO Speedwagon recorded Golden Country. Remember that song?
It was in
Golden Country, old faces. So they recorded that live there at Memorial Hall in Kansas City. Released it the next year on their album. Pink Floyd performed there. Pink Floyd showed up and said, "We're going to release an album next year. We would like to try out some of the tunes here and see if you like it." It's Dark Side of the Moon. First time ever in public that the tracks from Dark Side of the Moon was played. Elvis played there. I'm pretty sure Madonna played there. Also, Patsy Cline played at the Memorial Hall. They left there, got on a plane at the downtown Kansas City airport, which isn't too far from there, and that plane crashed. So just a matter of hours after she performed in Kansas City, Kansas at Memorial Hall, she died in that plane crash. So there's so much history to Memorial Hall in Kansas City, Kansas. Right now, I think it's like a skating, like a roller derby skating thing is what they've got going on there now.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
That is there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my brother Lewis, who passed away last year, he loved going to see the roller derby girls. He loved it.
But you know that there's so much more they could do with that venue. Kansas City has all these big venues, but they need a set-down 2,500 seating arena. They need that. They need that niche. They've got these huge ones, you know, and they've got these bars you can go in and seat 90, but they don't have anything in the 2,500.
Here's the problem I see with municipal.
What's that?
Parking.
Yeah. Well,
parking.
Yeah, because they got the casino. They've opened up a casino, but you know, there's all street parking there, and then also there's all that parking behind. There's a city building, and there's all that parking behind that. But that casino's always full, so it takes up a lot of the.
I found the list of acts. Here's a few of them. Some of the acts that appeared at the Cowtown Ballroom. Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
It says that Frank Sinatra might have did a recording there of "That's Life." Brewer and Shipley.
Oh yeah, One Toke Over the Line, wasn't that them?
Yep. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
Yeah, and that's one I think Steve Martin opened up for. I'm not for sure on that.
Poco.
Oh, Crazy Love.
Poco. And you know the history of the Poco was one of those guys quit Poco and joined the Eagles. And then when he quit the Eagles, the other guy, the guy with the real long hair, from Poco, joined the Eagles.
That's bizarre.
That's because I saw that in that documentary. Steely Dan was there. Let's see here.
Pardon me.
I had a whole list of folks here.
Steely Dan was one of my favorite groups.
Steely Dan was one of my favorites.
And weren't they from like Steelers Wheel? Wasn't a member of them from Steelers Wheel, and they left Steelers Wheel and started Steely Dan. Am I right? And Steelers Wheel was, you know, clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, here I am, stuck in the middle. Am I right about that?
I think so, but I just heard an interesting fact yesterday.
What's that?
I listen to a lot of satellite radio. And the main guys from Steely Dan were part of the Jay and the Americans band.
Oh, wow.
Because that lead singer from Jay and the Americans just passed away.
Oh, okay.
So, B.B. King played there.
The thrill is gone. That guy.
Let's see. There's just. Oh, here we go. 1970, the Flying Burrito Brothers.
Yeah. Which was that Roger McGuinn? I'm trying to remember who the Flying Burrito Brothers were.
It says Steve Miller. Steve Miller Band was there. Okay. Frank Zappa. Brewer and Shipley, Savoy Brown, Alice Cooper did 2 shows there.
Wow,
isn't that crazy?
This was a big venue. Of course, then Kemper Arena opened up down, and we call it down in the west bottoms of Kansas City. It's where everything used to flood. I don't know if it still does or will still. They've built some levees, but it used to flood down there quite a bit.
Detroit with Mitch Ryder played there.
Oh wow.
5-man electrical band. I remember that name. Yeah. I can't tell you what they did, but
yeah, I can't either.
Badfinger.
Yeah.
Which was a signee of Apple Records. Signed them. That's how they got their big.
God, I can't remember. Todd Lee drugged me to a field.
Hot Tuna.
Oh, to a field somewhere out in the middle of nowhere in Kansas to see an ad, and I'm not so sure it wasn't Badfinger.
Robin Trower. Hot Tuna was with Ozark Mountain Daredevils.
Okay.
Frank Zappa, Black Oak, Arkansas was there. You remember them?
Yeah, oh yeah.
The Birds.
The
73 with Flash. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band with Danny Cox, Steve Martin.
Yeah, he opened for one of them, didn't he? Wasn't
it doesn't say that he opened. It just says Steve Martin. Ozark Mountain Daredevils, Loggins, and Messina were there. One of your favorites.
Mama Don't Dance and Your Daddy Don't Rock and Roll. Remember that?
B.B. King, Dr. Hook.
Kenny Loggins is one of my favorites. Kenny Loggins and Bob Seger. Dr. Hook.
Dr. Hook. King Crimson with Gentle Giants and Charles Lloyd. Poco with David Souther, who were they were all best friends with the Eagles people.
Yeah.
Charlie Daniels Band.
And that would have been that would have been before the Devil Went Down to Georgia. Because the Devil Went Down to Georgia in 79.
Yeah, it'd have been
It was
that.
long closed before 79.
Climax Blues Band.
Oh, wow.
Van Morrison. Man, I wish I was that age to go there.
Yeah.
You know, I would have been.
You're talking early 70s.
This
Great
is 74.
acts.
This is 74.
Yeah.
Electric Light Orchestra
ELO.
with Susie Quattro.
Oh, my God. And we talked about Susie Quattro was Leather Tuscadero, right?
Yep.
On Happy Days. Pinky Tuscadero's little sister, who was Fonzie's main squeeze. And they were supposed to have a spinoff of Leather Tuscadero and never did.
Did you
But
know?
Susie Quattro's credited for being the ladies' genre of music that beget the Runaways, which of course is Joan Jett and all that. Did you know that? She's kind of credited for starting all of that.
Here's one that I wish I was old enough to remember to go to.
What's that?
I wish I could have. Blue Oyster Cult with Charlie Daniels. What?
Talk about two great tastes that taste weird together.
Well, that is
right.
Arlo Guthrie was there.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Mott the Hoople.
Robin
Trower. I mean, these are all like Hall of Fame people now. You know, just like King Crimson and.
But we were kids. We were little kids. When that was going on in Kansas City. Little kids. But
I can't imagine seeing these guys. You know, like I did see. I saw Blue Oyster Cult 2 years ago at the Voodoo Lounge at Harrah's.
You said that people were yelling more cowbell.
Yeah, that's all I did was yell more cowbell. The buddy I took he was yelling at, and he went to the bar. He went to the bar. Well, say I ran into when we first got there.
Pardon me.
I ran into two people from high school that were there,
and they're still alive.
Mark and John Wallace.
Oh yeah,
they were there. And
saw Mark Wallace not long ago.
So we were there, and so I bought the first round for all four of us.
Uh-huh.
And I said, just go ahead and keep the tab open, my credit card, so I can go back and forth. It's none of us had a beer in a while, so I went and got 2 more beers for me and my buddy. And I said, go ahead and close it out. And then my buddy said, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Scott.
Uh-huh.
And he comes back and, you closed your tab. Yeah. He had to buy his own beer. He was all pissed off about it. He's the one I took to go see. What was the name of that show? I took him to go see this concert there, and he got just wasted, bad. And he got up to go get me a beer. I said, "I'll go get you a beer." So he leaves. All of a sudden, it's like 15 minutes later, he's not back. And this girl that was sitting next to us said, like,
where'd he go?
She goes, what happened to your friend with his beer? Because he was pretty annoying in the seats we were in. He was being real annoying. Because when he got up to leave, she goes, quick, scoot his seat away. I said, no, he's a friend of mine. He never gets out, He's okay. So then I looked, and he's at the side of the stage.
With his beers?
With both beers.
Spilling them?
He's taking drinks out of both.
Oh, Jesus.
And I said, well, I found him, and there's my beer. He goes, what happened to your beer? Like, there they are right there.
There was a big bar venue. It was north of the river on 29 going to the airport. What is that? 64th or 54th Street exit or whatever, North 50, whatever it is. But anyway, there was a big bar there, and I saw Blue Oyster Cult there. It would have been back in 92. So I'm back in 92.
What was that venue?
Yeah, it was like a guy's name. I had Jay's or Frank's or whatever, but it was a big...
Wasn't Golden Buffet?
No, it wasn't Golden Buffet.
Oh, boy, skating.
But anyway, I saw Blue Oyster Cult. You know what? What song everybody just went nuts over when they started the first trip? Godzilla.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
I could see that.
Oh, they say he's got to go. Oh, no, Godzilla.
I remember the story that I didn't go to this show, but it was Ozark Mountain Daredevils. We were probably sophomores or juniors, and my friend Jerry Woodall went. Yeah. And he came back the next day and was talking about the concert.
Where was it at?
I want to say Municipal Auditorium.
Yeah.
And you know what's another good venue that I saw kind of wither away, which is sad, is Memorial Hall in Kansas, Kansas. Because I saw a lot of professional wrestling there as a kid.
Well, that's what we were talking about earlier, that all the great things that happened.
Yeah.
All the great things happened there.
Yep. And
but that was the big wrestling... Bulldog Bob Brown.
Oh, yeah, all those guys. And the last good show I saw, and I saw Santana there. I've seen, gosh. I mean, I've seen a lot of acts, but the best concert I ever saw, and I can't remember this friend of mine's name. She was a bartender at TGI Fridays on Ward Parkway.
Okay.
We went and saw Natalie Merchant together.
Was it her as a solo career? Or was it 10,000?
It was right after she broke up with them, and I did see them also at I want to say Municipal. I saw 10,000 Maniacs for the Our Time in Eden tour, which was amazing. And I'm a huge fan of Natalie Merchant. I just love her. I love all her music. And I even like her newer stuff. She just kind of some folky stuff. Just, I think she's awesome.
I saw REO Speedwagon there. I saw, was it Ray Davies in the Kinks?
Yeah. Yep.
I saw him doing an acoustic. It was just him with a guitar and a guy on the drums doing an acoustic thing, telling the whole history of the Kinks. It was very neat there. But the coolest thing I ever saw at Memorial Hall, it was, what was that show on HBO? Something about the kids in the Hall. It was the Kids in the Hall live.
Oh, yeah.
And Victor had all of them. It had everybody from that show. And they'd all been off at that time. They'd all gone off and become famous. And this was in, I want to say, late 90s, early 2000s. And they were just incredible. And remember the skit where the guy would look and they'd show him, look, Victor, he'd go, I'm crushing you. I'm crushing you.
Yeah.
The guy had to come out with a video camera. It was in the people in the audience going, I'm crushing you, crushing you. It was just so. But the skits were just so funny. Yeah, that was groundbreaking. That was a Lorne Michaels deal, I believe.
They were Canadians.
Yeah.
They were all Canadians. You know, my favorite skit is when they're chasing after this escaped convict, and they're eating. The escaped convicts and the police are in the same diner, and they're eating, and they notice each other, so they start eating faster, like the first one, and then the convicts get out and they rush out of the diner, but they have to put gas in their car first, so the cops have to wait for them to put the gas in the car before they can start chasing them. I'm pulling up
that's funny.
The history of concerts
from Memorial Hall.
Well,
I tell you, that Patsy Cline thing is phenomenal. The fact that Golden Country was recorded there, right? REO Speedwagon.
Yep. Oh, wow, there's a lot of history there.
Yeah. But and then the Pink Floyd, the first time Dark Side of the Moon, those tracks off Dark Side of the Moon was ever released in the public for the public to hear, that was at Memorial Hall in Kansas City, Kansas. It was a very well known venue.
I'm just going to go back to 1972.
That's all.
Well, I mean, they did concerts up there until like 2009. I didn't realize that.
They should still do them. They should still do them there.
Okay, check this out. November 13th, 1972, The Grateful Dead. After that, Deep Purple. After that, Foghat. T-Rex. Billy Joel. Billy Joel was there. Chris Christopherson. 1975, Bruce Springsteen. 1976, Rush, Uriah Heep, Foghat, Skyhook. Steve Miller Band, REO Speedwagon.
That's when they recorded
1976. Later that next month, and that was in November. December, Styx. 77, Peter Gabriel.
Was he? Now in 77, he was still with.
I think he might have just left Genesis. Yeah.
Okay.
1977, AC/DC. Looks like Styx did 3 shows there. September 17th, 1977, Styx and Morning Star. September 18th, Styx, Morning Star. September 27th, same year, a couple of weeks down the road, Styx did another show there. So that's just in the 70s.
Wow.
That is just in the 70s. That's
now, of
crazy.
course, you get down to the 50s and 60s. That's the Patsy Cline.
Let me go that far.
I'm fairly certain Elvis played there at one time.
Oh, let me take a look. No, let me go past page 5. Smashing Pumpkins were there.
I love Smashing Pumpkins.
1968.
Who?
Beach Boys.
Wow.
February 5th, 1969. Iron Butterfly and Grateful Dead.
Good God. Of course, Grateful Dead plays everywhere. I think they played out in the parking lot here one time.
In Green Valley. Oh my God, 1972, Pink Floyd.
Yeah. Now, when was Dark Side of the Moon?
Dark Side of the Moon was like we were in high school. So Pink Floyd has been around for a while. This is 1972, September 11th.
Well, they sampled the tracks off
Yeah, I'm sure it was later,
Yeah.
but it's not let me go past 1968.
But the history of that place is incredible. The history of Memorial Hall over in Kansas City, Kansas is absolutely incredible. I've got somebody that keeps...
T-Rex was there.
Yeah, they did Bang a Gong.
Yep.
They were Bang a Gong.
Jackson Browne and Linda Ronstadt, 1974. 1973, ZZ Top and Bachman Turner Overdrive.
BTO.
Here's a March 8th, 1974. Frank Zappa, Mothers of Invention, and Frank Zappa, Johnny Bennett, and Tom Waits. Remember Tom Waits?
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you. Kansas there, 1970s. How convenient.
What?
Kansas played in Kansas.
Kansas played in Kansas.
That's like going to the TWA Center in St. Louis and opening the doors and finding the 747s in the middle. Or B.B. King appearing at B.B. King's.
The music industry in the Kansas City region over the last 10 years, 15 years, it's kind of become like a little Nashville and a little Austin, Texas, hasn't it? There's a lot of venues, a lot of people come here, a lot of people play. We've got some just incredible venues. Of course, I'm sure you've been out to Knuckleheads.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And, what's one? Grinders.
Yep.
There's all these little venues popping up, and they're all full.
Yeah.
Of course, COVID coming in kind of threw a monkey wrench in the works, but still.
It's not letting me go past 1968.
Okay, so you're not getting down to Patsy Cline.
It won't let me go past that. For some reason, that's the only thing they list. But interesting stuff. Red Hot Chili Peppers appeared there.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
That was like 1999.
That's amazing.
Counting Crows.
Yeah.
There in 1999.
How many did they get to?
Well, they go to
7 crows.
5. Counting Crows.
Counting Crows.
Some
of the names of these groups,
But I did see, and I'm trying to find the concert that I went to, which would have been 99, which would be Natalie Merchant. Nellie was there.
Her big single hit, remember? Carnival. I love that
that
song.
was a huge shooter.
Oh, huge.
I'm not finding her.
How are we doing on time? We should be good.
We're about done, but one more 1992, The Wallflowers.
Which was, is that Bob Dylan's son?
Yes.
Okay. Roscoe Dylan? No, I'm joking. That's a joke.
Roscoe.
Matt? Wasn't it Matt Dillon? No, just joking. Again, joking.
I'm not finding my Natalie Merchant concert, but I know that, that's where I saw her there. But anyway. Anywho. All right, well, let's go ahead and
wrap it up. This has been episode 22?
Yes.
No. Yeah. Episode 22 of Two Old Guys talking about stuff nobody cares about. And I think today we really probably truly did talk about stuff nobody cares about.
This was an interest because talking about the concert venues is kind of like my, like I had said before, my first concert, probably my first concert was the Super Bowl of Rock and Roll with April Wine, Kenny Loggins, April Wine, Kenny Loggins, Doobie Brothers, and Journey.
And that's something.
Yeah.
And that was at Arrowhead?
That was at Arrowhead.
Yeah.
So,
of course, I had that Johnny Cash Super Rally. Youth for Christ, Johnny Cash Super Rally.
Stop.
Hey, Pat Boone.
Stop.
Pat Boone. We need to look up the other people that were lesser than them. I can't remember them on the billing chain. Lesser than Pat Boone. Yeah. Anyway, this is Valley TV Productions Studios. Catch us, please, on Real TV Now on both Facebook and YouTube. And like and share us so we can kind of spread this out there. We're really enjoying the comments we're getting from people. Except the one where they said they were going to sneak in my bed at night and slice my throat. Those are kind of
a little over the top.
Yeah, I'm joking. Nobody said
that. Those are over the top.
Nobody said that.
I'm waiting for the fan mail to come in. Come on.
Fan mail, that's right.
Except make comments. Good comments.
Right. Fan mail. You can address it to Two Old Guys Talking About Stuff Nobody Cares About. P.O. Box 1, Freeman, Missouri, 64746. Oh, God. I just miss Freeman. Hey, shout out. got my 40th class reunions coming up this weekend.
All right.
Part 2. We already had one in May. This is part 2. You know.
Awesome sauce.
And it's kind of funny. We scheduled this one. We didn't realize it was part 2. We forgot. We're at the age right. We forgot we did one in May. Are you going to be there, Victor?
No, I probably won't. But
people see us as a couple now. I'm starting to get mail saying, "Hey, are you going to be at the reunion? Is Victor going to be there too?" Victor, tell Victor.
I wish everyone well. There's a scheduling conflict, so
now Jeff Fellers is doing the barbecue, which he's excellent. Of course, he always wins, but that chicken category, I'm a little suspect of. Got to do chicken just a perfect way, or everybody could die. I'm just saying.
Right.
But the chicken category kind of suspicious. But and Victor, I've been told that if you go, your side dishes would be half price.
Good. It's a scheduling conflict. Can't make it this time. I'll make it next time.
I don't believe you.
I will make it.
Anyway, I'm Curtis Coons, Victor Garcia. We're signing off. Please like and share. Two old guys talking about stuff that nobody cares about. You have a good day.